I've always been athletic and climb, and I can recall being in college. When I was in college, I wanted to one day put on that striped shirt. After playing football under Coach Eddie Robinson for 4 years and playing baseball in Grambling for 4 years, I said when I got out, I would try to officiate. I'm teaching at Blunt High School in Mobile, Alabama. One of the renowned coaches there, Mr. L.B. Greene, asked me, say, Paul, would you like to officiate? I said, yes. I said, I really would like that. And he said, well, why don't you come to meetings? So I went to meeting, and I went to the meeting and became a member of the local association. In 57 years of officiating, quite a few. I can recall working the Gold Coast Football Classic in San Diego, California, between Morehouse and Albany State, and working that game, Denzel Washington's son played for Morehouse, with Morehouse. And the night prior to the game, I was able to meet him personally. That was a great experience for me. Working the Bayou Classic and the Superdome 2 years, working the Zayu City Classic, working the first Alabama-Mississippi football game in Mobile as a back judge in that game. That was great. I enjoyed that. And working the many games at Alabama State and Crampton Bowl, and those were great experiences, great moments for me. I think the most gratifying thing that I can recall was when you instituted the Alabama high school camps. These camps, I recall when we would go for this 3.5 days, and all of these officials would come in, and some of these officials had never been on the basketball court. Some had never blown a whistle, but some would come in to this camp, and we would go through the drills with them, applied mechanics. They would be filmed, they would be critiqued. They would go in a room study for rules and regulations. They would have applied mechanics, we would do mechanics and the signals, and go through all of these things for those 3.5 days. And on the final day, that Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, some of those officials who could not hardly walk on a basketball court didn't know how to. They would have called that final game. My family was very, very important to me and my growth and development in basketball. With my wife Julia's approval, and I say without her approval, I would not have been allowed to. We had a son, our son Derek, he was there too. And when he was growing up and everything, I'm going to football meetings, or going to a basketball camp, or going to a football camp. And in doing this, that took away from her. She had to be there, she had to do this. There were times when he was playing on a Friday, I had to work. He understood it. He allowed me to. My wife Julia was she was very special. I talked about football and basketball rules so much and studied so much that she learned a lot about officiating, a lot about the mechanics of it, a lot about the rules. And after each game, really and truly, that she saw, she'd critique me. She'd say, hey, you missed that, you did this, or you should have done this, should have done another thing. You just can't do it without their approval and be happy. The advice I would give to a first-year official are many. First of all, to have a love for the game, to really want to officiate, really want to be around young athletes and officiate these games. I would suggest to them that they would prioritize what officiating means to them, because there are a lot of things comes before officiating. Church, home, family, job, a lot of things. Officiating is way down the line. I would advise them to that. But if they get into officiating, that they be willing to accept constructive criticism. Make sure that they're always mannerable, respectful to coaches, to players, the supervisors, to security, to administrators, always be able. I want to thank Mr. Lewis and Mr. McCurley for nominating me. I want to thank the selection committee for accepting me and selecting me to be elected into the Hall of Fame. It's something I would cherish for the rest of my life. I'll never forget it.